talking Super Bowl, 'cause we're the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins #1. Yes, we're the
Good evening, Dolphins fans. Welcome to another episode of the best, most positive Dolphins show on all the internet, the FINS Bandwagon.
Good evening, everyone. Look who's back. Happy Festivus. I'm your host, FinStanza. Happy Festivus, everybody. And with me, my pops, Fish Tank Hank. Pops, it's been so long. I'm on the right side for the first time in a month. What's up?
You know, that's the way it should be most of the time with you. We got to keep you under control.
I know, it was under control, eh?
You get all crazy on me.
I know. By the way, no one is more, I thought we'd be excited, but no one's more excited than Thirsty that we're here. He's been waiting for Bandwagon to come back, and they told him, you can't have too much of FinStanza. Like, even this week, I've been on like 4 shows. It's a little too much for me. Anyway,
They just eat you up, man. They can't get enough of you.
Yeah, I know. Anyways, how you been doing? How's been your week?
My week has been awesome because I know that we're facing the Cowboys, and it's going to be awesome.
I know. It's going to be great.
I can't wait to be down there with the electrification of the Hard Rock Stadium with the one side booing and cheering, the other side booing and cheering, going back and forth.
Yeah.
It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be great. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching us. We are brought to you by the greatest show on surf.shop. Use the promo code FinStalk to save 15%. You still have time to buy for Christmas. It's coming up for Festivus. I'm giving you guys all donations to the Human Fund. In your donation, in all of your names, anyone who watches, I'm making a very nice donation to the Human Fund. But don't forget to like and subscribe. Go to the Greatest Show on Surf if you want mugs, T-shirts, anything like that. They have great stuff. Honestly, the Dolphins have been we want them to go a little more on land, but they are the greatest show on surf. They're the best. They're the number one. Just go check them out. Promo code FinStalk, save 15% off all your orders. So, Fish Tank.
Yes, sir.
In honor of me being FinStanza and the moniker that is me, I brought my pole because this is my tree. I'm ready for the holidays. How are you preparing for the holidays this upcoming weekend? What are your special plans besides the Dolphins? Anything you do special for the holidays over the last many years? With Kelly, with everybody?
I used to have, like, when my daughter was around, we had traditions and we did all those things. And basically, my wife and I, we enjoy each other's company year round. And we buy gifts and exchange gifts all the time year round, but you know, we do take time to appreciate one another and let each other know that we're grateful for each other.
Okay, that's amazing. And what are you gonna when you drive? I guess you're gonna be driving back after the game on Christmas Day, right? So that's gonna be your day. Anything
so it should be nice and clear on the road. Everybody should be doing what they're doing. I should be cruising right on by.
Yeah, and everyone's gonna be at home while they're watching movies, watching football, and eating Chinese food, right?
Exactly.
So, in honor of Festivus, we'll start off. We're going to start off. I'm going to give you the chance before we talk about the Miami Dolphins for you to go with the airing of your grievances. And basically, what that means, you have a lot of things to say to me on what frustrates you about me in 2023. So, get it out of your system. What do you have to say about me that you need to get off your chest that I've done to frustrate you in 2023 so I could be better in 2024? Air your grievances. Everyone in the comments, feel free, air your grievances on the bandwagon.
Let's see. I would have to say every now and then, let me finish what I'm saying. Outside of that, I think we do fine.
But in general, any grievances you like? Any general grievances in
life? Why do I have a grievance with you? For crying out loud.
No, in general. What about in life? What about in life?
You're my flesh and blood, Junior.
Yeah, I know, but I milk you for every penny you have.
I know.
But any grievances you want to get off your chest in life?
No, I'm good, man. I'm like fabtabulous. Only thing I'm concentrating on right now is those Dallas Cowboys.
Okay, we're going to talk about them in a minute. My grievances are with Bobby Melendez. No, I'm just kidding. And all the frustration. I actually don't have any grievances because I'm FinStanza and I cause everyone else grief. And I want to thank everyone for watching this show, being part of this network, just engaging with me and my stupidity and my fun. All we're doing here is having a great time, talking football, talking sports, having fun. And we appreciate everyone watching. It's just a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
So, and everyone back it up, binge, thirsty. Yeah, thirsty. Can't wait to get a lot of a lot of fun out of that. Guys, don't forget your poll, guys. Honestly, it's a Festivus miracle. The Miami Dolphins right now are number one in the AFC East. They basically have control their own destiny heading into the playoffs. On Sunday, they're going to make us proud and clinch a playoff spot. And then we'll worry about the East after that, one game at a time. So, Hank.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of grievances, take a few minutes and tell me who on the Miami Dolphins, before we talk about the game and everything like that, air your grievances on the Miami Dolphins and who so far this season has frustrated you and what they can do to be better in your eyes after the first 14 games of the season.
Who has done that? Well,
I wonder who I am grieving with.
Yeah, I wonder. I'm going to say the kicker.
Only the kicker?
Just the kicker. That's it.
That's it. And why?
Because I need that positive energy going into this next game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't want to take away from that. So I'm going to blame the kicker now, just in case the kicker misses one tomorrow. I mean Sunday.
Sunday. Oh, that's all you're going to grieve?
I'm used to being on with you on Saturday now.
I know. I'm confusing you. For me, I'll grieve. I'll go. I'll start. Okay. I'll go from easy. let's see. Let me go from backwards.
This isn't the Grinch special. This is the FINS Bandwagon.
I'm getting it out, but it's still FinStanza. We got to get it out of our system.
All right.
And then we're going to talk positive. I said,
get it out.
We always turn into a positive. So for me, my grievances so far this season are started off with Jason Sanders. He turned me around. Jake Bailey is now my grievance on the special teams. The guy keeps on muffing a punt. I would like him to become what he used to be, one of the highest paid punters in the league. Prove me wrong over the next 3 games that you are better than what you've shown so far this season.
Oh,
Jake Bailey. Special teams, they've been doing okay outside of him for the last couple of weeks. I'm not going to say anything bad. On the defensive side of the ball, overall, the last couple of weeks, they've proven that they are a top 5 defense. The only thing I would like is to get rid of that the only thing that frustrated me is that prevent defense that has cost us, where we get basically cut like a warm knife across butter in the Chiefs game and in the Titans game. Those are things I'd like to see disappear post-Christmas. On the offensive side of the ball, screen passes to Tyreek, I would like to disappear. That's what I want as my Christmas present. No more drops from Jalen Waddle. And Tua not playing any hero ball, and Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel, my Christmas present to me would be to do what you did last week, which is realize you have Tyreek Hill. When Tyreek Hill is not there, there's other ways to win football games. Own what you did. What Hard Knocks taught me this past week with Mike McDaniel is that he knows what he's doing wrong, but I'll give you a perspective, Hank. Someone talked about the talking heads today about we're very flashy, but there's a little bit of fakeness that we haven't proven anything yet. Mike McDaniel is the essence of that because of how he is. He's very positive, but then he comes off flashy, wearing the fancy shoes, the fancy clothes, but we haven't proven anything yet. And that's one thing I actually like about Hard Knocks is the fact that he's actually admitting his fault on live television, on a show, which is great. But besides that, those are my grievances for the year, but I think they're proving us wrong. So did you have a chance to, by the way, let's take a moment. Let's give props to Bobby Melendez on this beautiful overlay because he's tapping himself on the shoulder. He finally updated our graphics, and El Jefe, these are beautiful. You worked very hard. I appreciate you. A larger donation to the Human Fund, Money for People, will be made in your honor. But Hank, I tell him in 2024, I would like a new video where you and I are both driving the bus. Okay, but look at these new graphics. We even got, by the way, for the last 4 weeks, you see, we souped ourselves up. We went from that little orange Beetle, and we got ourselves a nice FedEx truck that we colored.
Yeah, I know. Did you see that thing?
Isn't that awesome?
We could carry all kinds of people on that.
Yeah. Lots of packages on there for the Dolphin faithful, eh? It's amazing, eh?
I'll tell you.
So let me ask you something. Did you happen to watch, before we talk about the game, because obviously we're going to talk about the game, and we'll do our feats of strength at the end. Did you happen to catch Hard Knocks this past week?
No, I didn't catch it this week yet.
So one of the main focuses was obviously the night after. Do you know the game ended like at 11:30? Mike McDaniel was in his office at 2:45 in the morning. I don't think he went home. Butch Berry was there. He was looking at tape. The speech he gave to his team about what happened with the Titans game, how he showed the plays, throwing the fades in the red zone. Let me ask you, how does it make you feel that Mike McDaniel on TV with millions of people watching is willing to own up to the fact that to his own team that he effed up? Does that show growth to you?
That shows that he is who he portrays to be. He is himself, which is a good thing. He doesn't pretend to be somebody else. He's comfortable in his own shoes, and it just happens that his shoes have a red tag on them.
Yeah.
You know, he's comfortable in his own little pants, his Bahama pants or whatever they're called that he likes to run around in.
Capris.
You know, his capris. He's happy in those.
Yeah.
I mean, that's his deal. That's his gig. Just like me.
Mm-hmm.
I dress Dolphins gear every day. Every
the best.
day I do. So,
Yeah.
you know, I understand where he's coming from. He's just saying, hey, this is who I am. And, you know, my team is going to be an extension of who I am. And he has done that. He's talked to this team straightforward, doesn't cut any corners. And, you know, when it's time for him to take the heat for what he did or didn't get done, he's done that also. And he gained more respect in doing that from those players in doing that. So I love what he's about. You know, he's about making this team win.
Mm-hmm. One of the other aspects of the show was which was really cool, and that's what I love about the Dolphins community and what they do, is on Twitter. I'm sure you've seen it many times. There's a teacher in Miami by the name of Mrs. Martinez. She teaches grade school, and every day her entire room is draped in dolphins. And every morning before the week heading into the game, she does her math and her scores, everything tied to the Dolphins. And she keeps track of everything and how far Tyreek Hill is from this many yards, this and that, and then how they do in the game, and they have the whole schedule, and they do and Hard Knocks did the game after the Titans and after the Sunday win, and it was in there for both, and it was just very, very cool to get her the recognition because of what she's doing for the community and for her school to involve the Dolphins. I think it's absolutely incredible. So that just tells you how cool the Dolphins are for the community.
Yeah.
Then there's the best part for me, which I think we've all been waiting to see, is the they did everything. The main focus of the show was Zach Sealer, and then they brought in Christian Wilkins, and they showed how Zach Sealer, the history of his career, how for the first year in Miami he lived in an RV in the middle of the woods, camping with his wife. He's actually expecting a child. And that he finally got his contract, bought a house, but then also the fact that, ironically, this all worked out because he got that interception and the touchdown in the Titans game, and then he got it in the Jets game, which we'll talk about leading into the Cowboy game. What are your thoughts before I get into the Christian Wilkins thing? What are your thoughts on Zach Sealer, on his growth as a Dolphin, when he first joined to now? How do you see him as part of this team, and how excited are you to have him under contract for many years to come? Wow. Black screen Hank. Fish Tank. Guys, let me know how you guys feel about that. If you've been watching Hard Knocks, tell me what you guys have thought about Zach Sealer and how excited we are to have him on this team and the kind of guy that he is. What's up, Trevelius? Just let me know. I think that Zach Sealer is just that hard-nosed, blue-collar player. If you go look at how they showed him in the game against the Jets with his wife there for the baby shower, it was so nice to see his the roots that's there, and it's really, really cool. It's just ironic. It's just the hard nose of it. Like you see the different animals on the wall that were stuffed. It's just very, very, very cool. We're going to wait for Hank to pop back in whenever he can. Maybe he's going to try and relink and see what's going to go on there. I'm sure you guys all saw the fact.
How's that?
It's better. You're here. So I was about to say, what are your thoughts? If you heard me, what are your thoughts on Zach Sealer? What are your thoughts on having him as a Miami Dolphin for years to come? So when you first saw him, like you've been watching the Dolphins for many years, what do you think of Zach Sealer? Well, the first word that comes to your mind when you think of Zach Sealer.
Tenacious. Teammate. That's another one that comes up. Just how him and Christian Wilkins are such good teammates. They're like the dynamic duo out there.
They're actually salt and pepper. They called each other salt and pepper.
Yeah, salt and pepper. We used to have two cops by us. They were black and white. They were called Salt and Pepper when I was growing up.
During the games, they were showing them singing, going after each other, how excited they are for each other. Like they are actually off the field like best friends. They were showing them off during practice. Like they are literally. Remember I said this to you? We've talked about this.
That's why I'm saying teammate. Yeah. That's why teammate is so big in there.
But that's, by the way, but you know what that told me? There is zero chance that Christian Wilkins on a Dolphin next year. Because they are not separated. The same way we tie Tua to McDaniel, you can't Christian Wilkins, I know you can't do it, but Christian Wilkins and Zach Sealer are literally tight. They won't be the same player without each other. Honestly,
exactly.
Incredible. Yeah, relationship goals. It's just amazing. It's just absolutely great. What's up, Doll? What's up, Courtney? Guys, Dolphins Diary. Finally, a fantastic show on Dolphins Thursday. Honestly, classed that place up. Last night, there was Courtney, Pamela, and Miss Fins. Great show. Phenomenal. Keep up the great work. We did post-game together. She was absolutely incredible. It was nice. Bobby was just fodder. It was just really cool to show. So, the Jets game. You haven't been able to recap how you felt about the Jets game. No Tyreek Hill. You were sitting in the corner watching Jalen Waddle run that route. You got to see that run into that end zone because you're in that corner. What was it like?
I was the opposite corner of it, so I watched it go in.
Exactly. What was it like to be there? The game, the systematic destruction of the New York Jets, the fact that Zach Wilson didn't go into concussion protocol, he went into sissy protocol, ran off the field into the blue tent. What was it like start to finish being there on Sunday?
It was incredible. A big part of why I go down was because I wanted to tailgate and meet with people and do all that kind of stuff too. It wasn't just going down and watching a game. It was everything that goes with it is why I like to do it. And we've met a lot of really good people when I go down there. And that's a big part of it. And partying before we go into the stadium is always a good time. There are people around me that always bring food and stuff and cook special things up for the game. And they said this Christmas it's going to be off the chain. And I believe them. I don't doubt these people that party. So it's when we watch the game together, it's me and my wife and I, and it's exciting. It's thrilling when we score, especially that touchdown, by Jalen Waddle. You could see it. It was almost like slow motion sitting in the stadium. You know what I mean?
Like crazy.
I saw Tua going back, and I could just see Waddle just breaking open. And I was like, oh, my God. And I bumped my wife, and I said, oh, my God, here it goes. and he just released it, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me!" And then everybody stands up. Everybody stands up. You got to stand up and see it for whatever reason. But
And you saw how he looked off the safety, right? Like it was just so well planned.
Yeah. Oh,
And
it
on
was
Hard Knocks,
awesome.
by the way, that's why you have to go watch it on Hard Knocks. McDaniel is on the sideline saying, because that was the first play of that drive, that this is Waddle's. I want to score on one. I want to score on one play to Waddle. I want to score on one play to Waddle, and boom, first play. It was incredible. He called
it was awesome.
And it was
awesome.
Nice, and we talked about it last Saturday. How nice is it to see that Jalen Waddle's going deep, and he's good, and he basically played the Tyreek Hill role to a T. He literally played it to a T. He played it like Waddle did exactly what he did there. What were your thoughts on, like, you saw when Waddle took that high pass from Tua and lost his breath a little bit? Did you get nervous?
Very much. I mean, come on. You talk about the high pass that got caught?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really nervous on that one.
Yeah, like Tua has to stop doing that. Like, come on.
The whole stadium was like, you could hear the whole stadium breathe at the same time.
Yeah. You could hear a pin drop. I could hear it through the TV. There was like a pin drop. We all just went like, oh crap. And then but throughout the game, it was just like you couldn't wait for the Dolphins offense to come, but the defense, like Bradley Chubb, like watching him in that game, like as advertised now. Like he's finally earning.
I did say before, I said number 2 is going to have a big game, and he did.
Yeah.
I was talking with my wife. My wife and I were talking. I said, number 2, honey. I said, watch number 2 today. And he came through, baby.
I love Christian Wilkins. Yeah, I love Christian Wilkins. But man, when he sacked, like when he knocked off Zach Wilson, and then Chubb knocked him over, and then Sealer went, what's his name, was celebrating. He didn't even know Sealer picked up the ball for the touchdown. I go, Christian, can you finish off the play, please? It was just like, that's how much fun they're having, right? But it was just nice. Anything, honestly, if someone were to tell you, Hank, that heading into, I understand that we'd be 4-1 so far in division, we would take that. We're going to finish at least with 2 more wins in our own division, which is something that we never do well with. We're never great against our own division. So,
wait a minute, we only have 1 in our divisional.
No, I'm saying we're 4-1.
Oh, yes.
We're 4-1 in division games this year. We were hoping if someone were to tell me we were 4-2 in our own division, I wouldn't be that upset. Did I think we could sweep them? Yes. But to be able to take care of the Jets, I don't care what they've done. They still have a top defense, was phenomenal.
Yeah. The fact that we were able to do 30-point burger on them, leave them with a goose egg. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was pretty incredible. The defense just totally came through for us. You couldn't ask them, when they don't score, they can't win. So, and people are, sleeping on our defense. We have a decent defense in a lot of different ways where people are sleeping on us. They just think we have a great secondary. We have more than a secondary, folks. And
we did it without our secondary.
Find out.
And we did it without our secondary because we didn't have Xavier Howard. We didn't have Javon Holland. We didn't have Deshaun Elliott.
We're going to need them We're going to need them this week.
Yeah.
We're going to need some of those players back.
So leading into that game against the Cowboys.
Because they have the 3rd-ranked offensive line or something like that?
Yeah, they have a top 3 offensive line. They have 2 pass rushers and Dexter Lawrence and Micah Parsons. They still have a great offense. They can run the ball. So they're a good team.
Our team's got to get after them. So, and we're the reason I'm bringing this up is because we're talking Zach Sealer and Christian Wilkins.
Yeah.
So, and those 2 guys are going to have to step up big in that game.
Yep.
And so's number 2. Number 2 is going to have to come up. Yeah. You got AVG over on the other side. Hey,
it's 2 top defenses versus 2 top offenses. It's like both sides of the ball are strong. The difference is we're playing at home. It will be a lot of Dallas Cowboy fans because of the fact that it's Christmas and it's coming down south and Cowboys fans travel. But at the same time, this is what people are calling the Fraud Bowl. But for the difference is that the Cowboys have not really beaten anybody on the road. They've beaten the big boys at home. We have not beaten anyone big yet this year, and there's a lot to prove there. But I think what you were worried about 2 weeks ago is actually going to motivate the Dolphins because they realize that this matters. If they don't win this football game, the Bills are coming. The only advantage is, which I actually think it's kind of nice for the Dolphins, is that the Bills play the Chargers tomorrow. The Chargers don't stand a chance in a lot of people's minds because Justin Herbert's out for the year. They're playing against the quarterback for the Chargers is a hockey player named Easton Stick. Like the guy's literally name is Easton Stick. Easton is a hockey brand. Okay, it's very, very funny, and it's actually the main thing they make is a stick, and that's the guy's name. God damn it. But it's on Saturday. But they're going to have an interim coach. You never know with these interim coaches. Look what happened with the Raiders. Things happen when you have an interim coach, and you can always throw a goose egg game here and there. But for the Dolphins, they have to keep the pedal to the metal, and they're playing at home. They're playing in their old school aqua, the way I'm wearing it here. They're gonna go out and shine. Talking about the injury report, the final injury report came out. The only guaranteed out is Robert Hunt. It looks like Tyreek Hill is going to play. Teron Armstead looks like he should be playing. Liam Eichenberg looks like he should be playing. Kendall Lamb. We never know about Austin Jackson, but Kendall Lamb can always go cover there. Of the players who have been out, let's start with this. How necessary on the offensive side of the ball is Tyreek Hill to play this weekend for you? And why?
Well, I think he's important. He's obviously a big part of this offense. He's just as big a part of it as Tua is, in my opinion. That's how much of an important piece he's become. And with their secondary, see, that's their weak spot is their secondary. And, Miami can take advantage of their secondary is what I'm trying to say with Tyreek Hill. You take Tyreek Hill out of that, it's going to be a lot harder pushing uphill when you want to get some yardage, Yeah. But with Tyreek in there, it changes the entire landscape. You know it, and I know it. He should be like an MVP candidate, and because it's a quarterback-driven thing, he won't see it. But he might get Offensive Player of the Year or something like that, some type of award. So, he is definitely a big part of this scheme. I mean, they use him for everything. They use, you love it when they do those nice swing passes, right? You love those.
Yeah, I love those screen passes. He needs 431 yards over the next 3 games.
431.
If he gets to it, which is an average of about 140 yards a game, 143 yards a game, or give or take. 144 yards. Do you think that he gets it if he plays the next 3 games against the 3 powerhouses where it might be a shootout in some of these games?
Yeah.
He's going to get it?
450 some odd yards,
431, 430. He has to get about 145 yards a game.
Wow. That's a tough ask. He can get it though. He can get it. Now, will he? That's a whole other story.
Would you put money down saying that? Would you put $100 down that he gets it?
It's worth $100 bill, sure.
Okay, you would.
What's it paying me? What's it paying me if he wins?
You triple your money.
Yeah, I'd put in 100 on that.
Okay. Honestly, though, I think, are you concerned with him in the lineup that Mike McDaniel will revert back to what the old game plan was with him in the lineup, when in December the success is a balanced attack? What are your thoughts?
Say that again. Fins up, everybody.
Ray, look what Taddy's wearing for you tonight.
Ray, I got you again tonight, Ray.
Now, my question is, are you concerned that Mike McDaniel will revert back to his old play calling with Tyreek Hill in the lineup?
No.
You think
No,
he's learned his lesson?
I think after he saw what the Bills did in the run game, he's got a lot of fresh ideas to use in the run game against them.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see heavy run and a little wide receiver action,
Okay,
not
good.
the other way around. I don't think we're going to see heavy wide receiver action with a little run. I'm considering half of those dink and dunk passes as runs too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
consider half of those dink and dunks as runs anyway, but
Exactly.
you know, I think there's going to be a lot more run.
Yes, I am, Scotty. I'm having
especially-
fun with it, Scotty. Come on. Scotty always has to challenge me. Gotta love Scotty. On the offensive line, Austin Jackson has an oblique injury similar to what Jalen Phillips had earlier in the season. Would you rest him?
Fins up, everybody.
Would you
Fins
rest
up, hammer
him?
time.
Would you rest him? Or would you
Who,
let
Tyreek?
Kendall
No,
Lamb play?
play
Or
him.
would you want Austin Jackson to play?
Austin Jackson?
He has an oblique injury.
You know, I can tell you right now, winning this Cowboys game really doesn't do much for Miami, other than keep them ahead of the Buffalo
make the
Bills.
playoffs. They make the playoffs.
Not if Buffalo wins.
Yes, they do. No, they don't clinch the East. If they win this football game, they're guaranteed a playoff spot. They're
Okay.
Outright.
All right.
Outright. They get a
Okay.
playoff spot. It doesn't matter
I'm
what
just
anybody else
saying,
does.
though,
They win, they're in.
in comparison to the other two games we have, the Dallas game isn't as important. That's all I'm saying. Now, does it get us in? Sure, it does. But so will the Ravens and so will the Bills. If we lose to both the Ravens and the Bills, we might have a problem.
We still make the playoffs. I don't care. Get into the playoffs and anything can happen. Okay? So would you play Austin Jackson or would you rest him and let Kendall Lamb play?
I'd rest him.
Okay. Who's more important for the offensive line this Sunday? Liam Eichenberg or Austin Jackson?
Austin Jackson.
Then who goes to center? Jonathan Harrison? A newbie against the Cowboys?
Maybe.
I actually disagree. I would rest Austin Jackson, let Kendall Lamb, an experienced swing tackle, go, and you need Eichenberg, who's been consistent a little bit the last two games, to play center. I gave you an easy one. I gave you a lob pitch. What?
I know you gave me the lobber. I swung and missed, man. I totally missed it.
Okay. Okay. For what are your grievances with this? What grievances will you have with the Miami Dolphins? I want to do the keys to the game tomorrow for you. I want to save that for Fins Talk today, where you have your not so great co-host because you had more fun with me the last 3 weeks. Admit it. Gotta love Bobby. What would be your grievances? What would concern you about our team right now that they might do wrong against the Cowboys?
Lose. Our team. It's this simple. Our team has been talked up all season. Our team has done some spectacular things. They have the ability to win. So if they don't win some of these next few games, I'm going to be ticked off a little bit. I'll be a little ticked off. Not at the team, just ticked off that, golden opportunity gets squashed. If that happens, I'll be upset. If we're talking lose out, that's what we're talking here. Lose out. I would be upset. If we lost out, I would be upset.
They need to win out.
Other than that, I don't think I would be upset.
They need to win out, not lose out. They need to win out. They can't
absolutely.
Stumble. They need momentum because trust me, if they win out, the only team people are going to be talking about winning the going to the Super Bowl in the AFC is the Miami Dolphins, because
that's right.
That means the Bills fumbled, it means the Ravens fumbled, and we're the number one seed. It's as simple as that. So
yeah,
that's why we need to win out. It's because the team is also capable. On the defensive side of the ball, who do you think we need more for this Sunday, based on what you saw this past Sunday? Do we need Javon Holland? Do we need X? which obviously it'd be nice to have both, because right now they're both questionable, but more leaning, I think, Howard to play because he has a little bit of less of an injury.
I would
Who do
say
you feel we
Holland.
need more? Who do you need more?
Holland. I'd say Holland. Kohu and the rest of the gang can cover.
Oh, thank you, Bearded. I always come to show you love. Doesn't take much. No, yeah. So Javon, did you notice like the team?
Fins up, Bearded.
Did you notice the team was a little
Appreciate
bit
you.
different? Guys, if you ever need everyone going down to Florida, if ever you need 5-star service, you check out Bearded Fanatic. Check out his 5-star limo service. The guy is great. He'll pick you up and bring you anywhere. The guy is phenomenal. Great guy. Could not meet a nicer guy, except for Fish Tank. Did you notice a difference? Why did you feel there was a difference with Brandon Jones getting 2 interceptions and Elijah Campbell without Holland back there? You feel like a sense even in the Titans game? Do you think the Titans game never would have been a loss if Javon Holland was back there?
Well, you never know. We were only lost by 1 point, so.
Yeah, but the 2 drives on the prevent, do you feel like what kind of a factor does Javon Holland play?
I just like Javon Holland, man. You asked me.
No, you're right. I'm asking you the question. I love Snowman. He's a Canadian. I'll never say no to Snowman. Honestly, the guy has 2 sprained MCLs, but I also didn't love the way Kohu played in replacement of Howard. I feel like Eli Apple played better. How amazing! By the way, what's up, Todd? How was it? Watching Eli Apple play a decent game?
Hey, as long as we keep winning, Evan, I don't care what Joe or Apple isn't a key player in any sense compared to a lot of other players we have.
Yeah.
I'm glad he stepped up and he filled the slot, though. That's what he was brought in for. When something like this happens, he's supposed to be able to step up and step in. And he did. So I can't complain about that.
Okay, good. So the Dallas Cowboys are coming to town this Sunday.
Yes.
What? Tua versus that rush. What do you expect? What do you want to see from your quarterback? Because this time last year in this game, it was Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. What do you want to see from the guy we defend to the hilt this Sunday? What do you expect to see from him?
2.3.
Out in 2.3. So Micah Parsons and Dexter Lawrence don't have a chance to even touch him, eh?
2.3. That's what he's getting the ball out in.
Yeah.
2.3. So, are they going to get to him in 2.3?
They can't.
Most of the time, no.
No way.
Most of the time, they're not going to get to him.
Yeah.
So that's all I think. That's what's in the back of my mind with this defense is 2.3.
Yeah.
Outside of that is run some type of scheme that slows them down. Either that or let them over chase and dump off a screen to the running back. Let them over pursue and just dump it right over them. There's so many ways they can slow them down and so many different things they can do with those 2 players. But they are fabulous players. I'm not going to take anything away from their defense. Trust me. It's not going to be easy. But when you look at it, you see Tua get it out quick. I don't care if he makes a wrong step here or there or gets an interception. I'm not concerned with that as much as I am him staying healthy and using that 2.3.
Okay, good. I'd say that, and tell me if I'm right or wrong. Whichever quarterback throws, whichever quarterback has less turnovers, wins the football game. Simple as that. Would you take that at face value? Or am I overthinking that?
No, because I think that Dak turns the ball over more than Tua does.
Yes, that's correct.
So I don't really necessarily know because they've won some pretty big games with him turning the ball over. So I can't really just full on say if Dak turns 2 over and Tua turns 1 over that we're going to win. No, I can't.
Okay. I was about to say it's the battle of Javon Hall. Jalen Ramsey was interviewed today, and he said because you saw the last game, and it doesn't normally happen that he was shadowing Garrett Wilson, and Garrett Wilson didn't get much. And he was saying, that's not really how I play that game. That's not how our defense works. Do you think he was blowing smoke up the media's butt, or do you think that wherever CeeDee Lamb goes, Jalen Ramsey goes, or do you think that if X plays, it doesn't really matter who's covering who, or do you want Jalen Ramsey shadowing CeeDee Lamb?
I mean, if I had the choice, I'd have him on CeeDee Lamb the whole time. But, like he said, they don't play defense quite that way where it's all man. But, yeah, he's going to play some man on them. Okay. That's definitely going to happen. We know it's going to happen. But how much? I don't know if he's going to keep him on him the whole game. I doubt it.
By the way, Ray, I love your comment, but in your life, Mike McDaniel will go for it. I don't care if it's 4th and 8 before he has Jason Sanders kick a 60-yarder. Never in his life will you ever see Jason Sanders try to kick a 60-yarder unless it's in literally garbage time in a game on the road or at home. But it won't happen on Sunday. I can promise you that. But Scotty, tight defensive game. If I were to, how do you see this game? Not the score, that's tomorrow. Before we talk about the coaches, because I want to talk a little bit about the coaches a little bit on both sides. How do you see the flow of this game? What is your gut feeling heading into it 48 hours from now? We're going to be post-game. What is your feel about the flow of this game between these two powerful offenses, but also these two great defenses?
Well, I think it's going to swing one way or the other this game. And what I mean by that is we're either going to swing into a defensive game or we're going to swing into an offensive game. So it's either going to be real low scoring or it's going to be real high scoring. I don't think it's going to be like in between. Because our defense can get after their quarterback. We already know that. We've seen it all year. It can happen. We have the right guys in place. Yeah, we lost Phillips. That's a tough loss. But at the same time, Bradley Chubb stepped up and showed you he can get some work done too. I really like a couple of their guys on defense. Obviously, their defensive ends are
Dexter
fabulous.
Lawrence and Miles and Micah Parsons.
Yeah, Micah Parsons, exactly. And, so that's where it could be a low-scoring game. But, man, we just have such great weapons on offense. I can't ever cut them short. You know what I mean? I think it could go one way or the other, and I don't know what's going to happen.
I think it's going to be quick. I think it's going to be the game is going to have this feel within the first couple of minutes, each drive on each side. I think it's going to be quick at the beginning, a lull in the second and the third, and then I feel like it's going to be like a Super Bowl in the sense that it's going to be fast in the first quarter, lulled a little bit in the second, lulled a little bit in the third, and crazy in the fourth. That's what I see.
I was thinking not much in the first or second quarter and blowing up in the third and fourth. Now, whether that's one or both teams, that's the big question.
Can't have to pick the Cowboys. Oh, Jesus. No, I flipped, guys. I did that to get on Mike McDaniel. He listened to me, and I said on postgame they're going to win out. And when I focus on something, and it's Festivus. My miracle is the Dolphins are going to win out. As a good Jew who loves Christmas but celebrates Festivus like FinStanza, I predict, and the bandwagon is back. As my Christmas present, my pops soup me up a beautiful new truck, and I'm driving him around town. You guys are all welcome back on the bandwagon, and we're going to have a good time riding out to the Super Bowl in Vegas in the desert.
Exactly.
Right? So Mike McDaniel, so it's very fun. You have two veteran defensive guys who do you give the edge to in terms of his and why? Dan Quinn, Vic Fangio.
I think Vic Fangio's going to come alive in this one. He's backed off a little bit of that just prevent only garbage, and he's finally started getting after the quarterback when we need to. So as long as he continues to keep this defense trending in the right way, I can't complain. I think we're going to do fine.
Okay. It's the battle of the Flash versus the boredom. The Mick versus the Mick. McCarthy versus McDaniel. A veteran, boring head coach versus a flashy, very self-aware, yet stubborn genius. Who has the edge? Who has the edge and why?
Who has the edge? The young kid does. He wants it more. He's been around it. He's been around it probably just as long as McCarthy's been around it, to be honest with you. I don't see any reason why. He's a leader of men is what McDaniel is. He's simply a straight up, straightforward kind of person that lets you know where he stands and everything's up front. So by doing that, that makes him a great leader in the first place, because he's not going to hide anything on you, and he's going to at least give you a chance to take on whatever comes, throughout the season. And in this case, we've rebounded, especially after the Titans and then going after the Jets and leaving them 30-0. So.
Yeah. I think I want to see that angry McDaniel. I want to see that McDaniel that was angry on Hard Knocks, that is wants the feeling of winning. I think he knows what the narrative is. Tua knows what the narrative is. If you heard Tua in his press conference today, let's get to that. Mike McDaniel telling his staff, the team, to F off if they bring up anything except the Cowboys. Tua telling everybody, yes, I suck. I can't do anything without Tyreek Hill. No, it's all about the wide receivers. No, I can't do anything without when Raheem Mostert does. I do well. It's because of Raheem Mostert. If I don't do well, it's because someone wasn't there. Just lay it on me. And then he only hears things from Ann Nolan, who is his media communications person. What did you think of all that? Like the bravado, because the talking heads were ripping Tua McDaniel for this. But except for Rich Eisen, who loves this stuff and praises the Dolphins, and so is Dan Orlovsky. But what are your thoughts on hearing salty Tua, Mike McDaniel telling the people that they could tell him to F off? Like, what was your feel on that? Like, doesn't that give you like a sense?
He was basically telling the people. He was basically telling the people right in front of his face to shove it up their butts. That's who he was talking to. He was talking to the media and the naysayers. He's tired of listening to it. He doesn't care. He doesn't care what they say. He's going to go out and do his job, regardless of who is or who isn't there. He's going to take his position and do the very best he can to win football games.
Yeah.
So all the rest is just and he's tired of it. Yeah. And he let them know, I'm tired of it, and I keep receipts. So in other words, like when somebody says, hey, I want to do an interview. Wow, that's nice that you want to do that. I'm a little busy right now. That's why he's keeping receipts.
I want this team to be angry. I want this team to say to themselves, I don't care what anybody else thinks, but no, angry at themselves, not angry at the media, angry at themselves for basically saying, who cares what the narrative is? We need to win. We have to win. We want fire in their eyes. We want the eye of the tiger. We want the eye of the cheetah. We want Mike McDaniel looks like this nice, decent guy. When you are as smart as you are, that's when you can be most, and you seem nice. That's when you could be most dangerous, because they don't see you coming. And right now, people think that the Miami Dolphins are flat. Like some people, like the people in Miami, they're all flash, but there's a little bit of insincerity in them because it's a little fake. Mike McDaniel comes from use the upbringing of your tough upbringing. Running to go to the fence to be a ball boy, working hard, going through alcoholism, suffering through, battling back, Like, bring that to the table and you've installed that in your people, but get forceful, get angry, get mad, kick their ass. Like, part of me on Sunday, I want them to kick their ass. I want them to shove it down the Cowboys' throat. You know what I mean? Like, because also
Yeah,
give you
I know what
perspective.
you mean. You're tired of hearing about the damn
Except
Cowboys.
for the Leon Lett game, exactly. Except for the Leon Lett game, in the snow, we've lost 6 of the last 7 against them. We don't play them very often, but we haven't beat them all. We're at home. This is the best opportunity. If we on Sunday crush the Cowboys and kill their spirit, the momentum, the number one story in all of sports on Monday morning, on Sunday night into Monday morning, on Christmas Day, when the families are around the tree opening their presents, they turn on football, is going to be Miami has the Dolphins, and they truly have the greatest football team.
Well, they're going to be talking about that upcoming game at night, too, though.
By the way, I didn't call you fake, Scotty, and I hope you realize this. I've been going to Florida since I was 6 weeks old. I'm 41 years old. I've been to Florida about 100 times. I'm proud to be Miami. I think this is the perspective of the talking heads, that's the definition of someone who's from Miami. Not you, the definition of the team on how there's people who are all flash, but all horse and no cattle. They flash that they're millionaires, but they're only worth $5 because it's all about the flash and what you can, how shiny you look. That's what it feels like. The same way if you're in LA, in Hollywood. What are your thoughts on this being the fraud bowl? Do you think Miami right now? Do you think that Miami, whoever loses this game, is a fraud?
No. I think they both have 10-4 record. Period. They won 10 games. They lost 4.
One's going to be 10-5 and struggling.
10-5 would not be good. No, for either one of them, it's not. It would not be good for either one. So, this is a real important game for a lot of reasons to both teams. Like I said, to me, it's not as important as the next two. However, it is important. I don't want to make it like it's not important. It is. But there's going to be a lot more pressure under that cooker when we face the Ravens and the Bills at home. This game, we match up well because of their secondary. We have just as strong of a defense as their defense is. Our offense is actually a little bit better than their offense, and that includes our running backs. So, knowing that, that's how I plan on seeing this game go. I see them executing and
Hank, that's not the best look for you, buddy. I know you're frozen. Guys, he's frozen. While he's frozen and he comes back, guys, don't forget to check out our sponsor, the greatest show on surf.shop. Use promo code FinStock, save 50% on your order. They have great stuff. Bragging about the Miami Dolphins. Check them out. Get somebody something nice for Christmas. You'll have a lot of fun. Scotty, Raphael, Ray, Hammer Time, everyone, thank you so much for watching. We're going to wait for him to come back because we want to still finish up the show. We're going to finish up at the top of the hour. I want to wish everybody a very happy holidays, Merry Christmas. If you're Jewish like me and you celebrate Hanukkah, happy Festivus. This Sunday is going to be a Festivus miracle because no matter what, we get to watch our Miami Dolphins play in a very, very big game. And I will save my prediction for Sunday. We're going to bring back Fish Tank. Finish your sentence, buddy. I was talking about.
I don't know where I was. I was in a cloud. I was in a storm.
I know. You were talking about how we have a better defense. We have good of a defense as them.
Yeah, we have just as good a defense as they do on our side. I actually think we have 3 or 4 great players. They have 2 great players. So I think we have an advantage on defense. I think we have the advantage on offense going into this game. Now, if Miami comes in and they're a complete team, they play as a complete team, I don't
not
see
prime
how
time,
the
so.
Dallas could keep up. I honestly don't see how Dallas can keep up if Miami plays a complete game.
It's not a primetime game. There's other games at 4:25. Primetime for Dolphins is when they play alone. If they're playing a Monday nighter, or they're playing a Sunday nighter, or they're playing a game in Germany or Europe, that's a primetime game. This is a mixed game. There's other games happening. We're not the only game on the shoot, so other people are not going to be focused. The tough part about
Not
this
at the
is that,
same time, though.
no, but other teams are playing at 4:25, and yes,
They're playing Saturday.
they're playing Sunday.
They're playing Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Yes, but Sunday game at 4:25. There's other games at 4:25. They're not the only game on the click. So that's why that's not prime time to me. The only reason this is prime time is it's because it's the number one game on Sunday.
Who else is playing at 4 something?
At 4:25, we know the Eagles game is we know that the Ravens 49ers game is on Monday.
Yeah.
The other game
I didn't know who else was playing.
Oh, the other game at 4:25, we got Jaguars at Bucks. That's a playoff game because they both are fighting for playoff.
Yeah, Jaguars are fighting.
Cardinals Bears doesn't really count. You have the Broncos and the Patriots.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
I know, but there's 4 games. There's games happening, right?
Yeah.
Red Zone is not going to be focused only on our game. The difference with our game is it's going to be a huge crowd. Dak Prescott does well at home because he has time to be loud. We need the Dolphin fans to be so loud when the Cowboys are there that they have to do their silent count and they can't get into a rhythm. That's why they're bad on the road. They lost to the Arizona Cardinals, right? Because they are actually loud in the dome. The Dolphins have to be loud and proud on Sunday. That's the key to victory. You have to get them off their game. And honestly, Mike McDaniel, keep it simple. Look what Joe Brady and Josh Allen and James Cook did. You have Devon Achane, you have Chris Brooks, you have Jeff Wilson, you have Raheem Mostert, you have Tyreek Hill, you have Jalen Waddle. Go around the backfield, get them confused. Don't make Tua make a decision past 3 seconds in the pocket, because if you do that, even with our great offensive line, if you're still going to have 2 guys coming at him. He needs to know what he's doing quick or get rid of the football. We don't want a repeat of last year. We need to stay consistent and do what we do best. Last week was a good blueprint. You follow up with the game of what the Bills did, and you go from there.
All right.
Anyway, so guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. Happy Festivus. Happy holidays again. Fish Tank wasn't there when I said this. We wish you all the best. It's a Festivus miracle. Why? Because the Miami Dolphins can clinch a playoff spot on Christmas Eve, and we can all wake up on Christmas morning, and the best present we have is the Miami Dolphins are going back to the playoffs. That is all that matters. With 2 games left in this season. We can't ask for anything more. So, Raphael...
I will run around like Pinocchio's in my pants.
Who has been ruled out for games versus the Cowboys? Just for Raphael, the only person who's been ruled out is Robert Hunt. Everyone is either questionable or ready to go. The people we should be concerned about not playing are Javon Holland, maybe Liam Eichenberg, maybe Austin Jackson. But I have a feeling it may be Austin Jackson and Javon Holland who might sit out. I see Xavier Howard back. I see Deshaun Elliott's out of concussion protocol. Teron Armstead's for sure going to play. But honestly, Chris Brooks should be back. That's all I want. All I want for Festivus is a Dolphins victory heading into Christmas. We couldn't ask for anything more. So on Monday, on post-game, because no one wants to deal with me heading into Christmas on a post-game show. Can you imagine FinStanza on a post-game show on a Christmas Eve where he's not smiling? Oh,
FinStanza,
boy.
Take us home.
Guys, he has to go eat supper. I swear, I only work with people who need to go eat after their shows. It's unbelievable. All they think about is food. It's unbelievable. Guys, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm happy to be back on the bandwagon with my pops. I'm ready to go in my new bandwagon. We love you guys. Like, subscribe, and just always, fins up.
Fins up.